Well, good afternoon. Welcome to a unique special edition of Restore Honor and Integrity to Ben Salem. Something I've waited to do until an appropriate time, and I felt that was now, and that was in regards to Dr. Kermit Gosnell. I wanted to wait until after his trial to give you my perspective on it, because I know a lot of you out there are wondering. I want to make something abundantly clear. I'm pro-life, pro-faith, and pro-family. I believe that life begins at conception and ends whenever God decides, not for us. Sometimes He will use human intervention, I guess, to facilitate it, but He has everything in His hand in that area. And I firmly believe, especially with Kermit Gosnell, that this man is without a doubt the biggest monster out there. Not the all-time biggest. To me, that so far has Hitler's name on it. But I'll say this, Gosnell is in the top 10 for me right now, along with you, Heyman. But I digress. You see, I chose to talk about this now because the trial's done, and the man was legitimately, in every way possible, found guilty, and the man's going to pay for it, I'm hoping and praying, with his life. What this man did is, to me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, murder. Now, I know that there are a lot of pro-choice people out there that are going to say, well, this man was the typical example of a back alley butcher, that this only underscores the need for safer abortions, yada yada. He's living proof that murder is being committed. He got found guilty 4 times of first-degree murder, and those other 200 and some illegal abortions, those other counts, they're also 200 and some lives that he ended. Because, as I said again, life begins at conception, and there is scientific evidence to prove it. I think what bothers me the most in this, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to say this, I read on lifenews.com, and this can be confirmed. They did a great deal of research, and also I heard this on the news, that Planned Parenthood made the false accusation that the reason why women were going to this man's clinic was because pro-lifers were supposedly scaring them away from Planned Parenthood places. That's utter nonsense. That they were scaring them away not just from Planned Parenthood type places, but from any facility that would do abortions. That's total nonsense. If you do the research, you'll find that 2.6 miles away from this man's office, there was a Planned Parenthood that does abortions that they could have gone to. And I believe there are over somewhere between 6 to over a dozen hospitals alone in the Philadelphia area that also facilitate abortions. Look it up. I say falsely accusing pro-lifers like myself of scaring people away, because that's not what we do. We tell them the truth. But we reach out to them in a loving manner, because we want them to know that they're valued in God's eyes, that they're being lied to. When they're being told, oh, it's a blob of tissue, it's a fetus, like, talking about it like it's a thing. It's not. It's a living, breathing human being. Science proves it. Anybody would like to look up physicians, pro-life physicians, you'll find a couple of very good websites. I believe there's one called Physicians for Life. And there's a doctor named Joel Hilton himself that is a doctor, OBGYN, that states categorically that he believes that life begins at conception. There's no other way around it, according to him. That's JOELHYLTON, in case anybody's wondering. To me, Kermit Gosnell is getting above and beyond what he deserves. Even if he spends the rest of his life in jail, he won't last long. The man's 72. I know a lot of people are calling for his spine to be snipped. And you know, in one aspect that would be pretty just considering what he did. But I think him getting the needle would be enough. Now, throughout the whole trial, this man portrayed himself as like he was king of the world. My husband would sum it up, and my husband, in case anybody's wondering, is #1 from West Philly, and he's black. He described him as your typical befuddled, arrogant doctor. And he used the word black, and my husband can do that. And for my husband to say, typical befuddled, arrogant black doctor, that says something. He's also a person that feels Halle Berry doesn't represent him. She just represents the tan people. And I'm sure any sane black person out there, and I know that there are intelligent, reasonable black people out there, and I love everyone regardless of your race, your gender, ethnicity, but let me make that intelligent people, no matter what you are, what color, race, creed you are, out there, could see through this man. This is an example of his arrogance. During the trial, one of the guards called him Kermit. He took offense to it. Said, "No, you will call me doctor." And this guard says, "No, in here, you're Kermit." Now, part of everything with this is this man's license is gone. He can't practice. He'll never be able to. Even in prison, he'll be lucky if he can be a nursemaid. I think they'll have him cleaning bedpans for life. I believe this man, in short, is getting what he deserves. And you know, just so people know, there are a lot more places like this man in Pennsylvania and all across America. As I said before, and I'm summing it up here, this man is living proof that abortion is murder, that it needs to be stopped, and it needs to be done legally. One way of being able to really put a dent in it is defunding Planned Parenthood. And just because Planned Parenthood would be defunded doesn't mean that it wouldn't be in existence. You get a whole chunk of change from donations. Please don't deny it. You claim that abortion is only a small percentage of what you do, but that's not really true. You're also claiming that you help provide breast exams and this and that, but you don't do the actual breast exams there on your facility. You just refer them to somebody that'll do them for free, which I think is a worthy thing. I'm not saying it isn't. But what I'm saying is that you need to tell the truth. Planned Parenthood doesn't care. They want to lie and say that we're frightening people away from them, and as a result of it, women were going to this monster. That's not true. As I said before, you can look it up. There was a Planned Parenthood a little over 2.5 miles away from his office, and there had to be 6 to 16 hospitals in the area that could have done those abortions for those women within the legal time frame. Well, that's what I've got to say on this for now. But if you want to know more about this, as I said, look up Physicians for Life, Dr. Joel, Joelhylton, Joel Hilton, and lifenews.com. They back up everything. Everything. I'm now
returning you to your normal lives. Ta-ta for now.